In this tutorial, we're going to talk about work plans, which for a downtown organization is really how we go about getting things done. So many of us work through work plans to ensure that all of our events go off without a hitch, and it's through the work plans that we make sure everybody's on task. So to get to our work plans, we go to our little checkbox icon over here. And then we select the work plan that we're interested in. We're going to look at our architectural treasure hunt. So when we edit a work plan, you've really got two sections, almost for newspaper references, above the fold and below the fold. With the above the fold, you've got the information that's what would go in a press release for the most part. So we're going to add Brian as the event chair here, but you've got the date, the name of the event, your estimated and actual budget, which we'll get to in a second, any contacts, any involvements that are associated with this particular work plan. So these are the committees that help to make this work plan a success. These are the people that are on the committee for this particular event. And then obviously you've got your description. You can attach files and link this to events. And each of those have their own tutorials as well, and I would encourage you to watch those. So with our above the fold, like I said, that's the things that are getting put out to the public, if you will. That's the shout it from the rooftops, we're having this event and we want you to come. Then we get into the below the fold, which is really how things get done. So each line item has a task, a date that it's due, who it's assigned to, the budget, and this can be income or expense, and the notes. Now, as you can see, you can attach this task or assign this task to multiple people within the Maestro system. So if a group of people are each responsible for a piece of that line item, you can assign that to all the different people. You have to remember when you're creating your work plans what the user role is. And we've got this notes section. The goal is to fill these out as completely and as thoroughly as possible so that even your base level volunteers in the system, the people that only have access to see their tasks, have all of the information required to complete that. So you're telling them what they need to do, when they need to do it by, the budget that they need to stay within, and then anything that's relevant to completing that task. So if this is ordering t-shirts, you might put in the company and the shirt sizes that they need to order. If this is ordering trash cans, it might be making sure that they've got the total for the number of trash cans they need and the number of recycling totes and all of the different information so that they can successfully complete that task without having to contact staff and ask more questions. And the more thorough we make this, the easier it will be year after year to keep updating these and make sure that people are operating autonomously and the events continue to run successfully. With the budget, and I want to get to right here where we can see if I update the budget here will actually change, and if I swap back and forth between income and expense, those budgets actually will update on the fly. So it's a great way to keep everybody on task and make sure that our events stay on budget. Now, if I needed to duplicate this particular task for some reason, let's say something happens once every month and I need to put this in my work plan so that I make sure that I do that. Go ahead and actually add just a small budget here. And then I'm going to duplicate that task and it's going to populate right below that. And everything that is in there now came down. And so maybe this needs to become February 25th instead of the 31st of January. And so it's really easy to create one task and then duplicate that multiple times so that everybody has the information and that you've got all of the different touch points or tasks in the work plan. Now we didn't need that one, so we're going to get rid of it. We're going to go ahead and save our work plan here. And you can see that all of these are done because this was a completed work task. When we go in, we can actually click our stopwatch here. You'll see the date that it was completed, but maybe this didn't get done. Maybe we need to mark that as incomplete. And so you'll see now that because it's past due, that's red. Now, any of these people that this is assigned to can come in and say, you know what, I spent an hour on that, but I'm not getting it completed yet, but I'm just going to add time. So that adds time to the task, to the work plan, and to their volunteer profile. Now we can come in, say, yep, this took 2 hours, we're complete, and add that time, and that time is saved, and now we've got a work plan that's very accurate, where we have reporting based on real data from our volunteers, which is crucial. The other thing I'd like to show you with work plans is how to go from year to year especially, or even similar work plans, how to clone these or duplicate these. So we've got a button in the upper right hand corner next to our plus button called Clone. And if we select that, it's going to pop up and it's pulling a list of all of our work plans. So we're going to take that 2017 architectural treasure hunt and make it the 2018. Oh, and I'm going to copy this since I put it in the wrong box. And so we can go down and select 2017 treasure hunt. It's going to become 2018. That happens in June. And now we've got a lot of options over here. So maybe we want to copy the attached contacts. So those were the committee members that were getting things done. Maybe we want to attach all of those involvements again. So the same committees or the same sponsorship opportunities exist. Most of the time we're going to want to bring over the tasks. And then we've got actually some budget options here. So we've got the option to bring last year's estimated or the old estimated over. So maybe we want to keep the old estimated budget. Perhaps we want last year's actual to become this year's estimated. So that's what it's set as a default to. There are times where maybe you had an anomaly of a year and you want to keep last year's estimated budget. Maybe you don't want budgets at all for this particular reason, and you can do those as well. You can also bring over the task assignments. So this means the actual individuals that those tasks were assigned to. So if you want everybody on the committee to have the same tasks, you can copy this and bring that over. If you've got most of your committee that's the same, I would encourage you to bring that over and then edit the few that are changing. And then you can also bring the dates forward and move them forward 1 year. You may have to manipulate those a little bit, but it's going to be a lot closer to where you're trying to get. So we'll go ahead and clone this. And now we've got a 2018 architectural treasure hunt, and you'll see all of our dates have moved forward 1 year. All of our task assignments are the same. Last year's estimated, or last year's actual has become this year's estimated, and everything else is in there. So we're ready to go, and now we're off and running for 2018. The other thing that happens when I do that is now all of these volunteers have been emailed that they've got new tasks assigned to them. So now they can hit the ground running and be ready to go and start implementing this year's work plan. Again, if you have any questions on how any of these things work, or you need a little bit more assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Our staff's always happy to help you in any way that we can.